Now let's go ahead and model this mannequin. It's going to be a lot of fun, even funner animating it, but we're going to have fun along the whole way. Did I say fun enough times? I think so, but that just shows how much we're going to have of it. Now with the image, I want to set this up. I'm going to hit our X90 so that when we go into front view, that's how we see it there. And let's go ahead and hit Shift 8. Add in a cube with this cube. I'm just going to bring it up and scale it down to fit kind of the torso chest area right here. All right. Now let's be smart about this. We can see that the mannequin is basically symmetrical from one side to the other. So to be smart, some would call it laziness, but I think it's a mixture of both. We're going to mirror this object onto the other side to do that. Let's hit Tab to go into our remote control, our left click, and then right click, then left click, and drag these vertices right there, X, and delete the vertices. We're then going to go to Modifier Mirror and check this out now. Mirrors that modifier, or mirrors that object, I should say, onto the X-axis. How sweet is that? So this mirror modifier, you can mirror things on X, Y, or Z axis, or all three of them if you want. So like that now, it's mirroring it on all the axes over. Right now, we're only going to mirror on the X-axis. Now, the option we want to take a look at is called clipping, which is right here with no clipping. You can see that the center vertices, they pull apart. However, if we enable clipping, you could see that they stay stuck together. All right, staying together is the way you make it in life. Let's box like these verses GG there and bring them down. Now, we're basically going to block this out and get it to a rough shape. So I'm going to SX, then E to extrude as X, and let's scale that to there. Now you can see that on this side, it aligns perfectly right there. However, over here it does not. And that's probably because when these people took the picture of the mannequin wasn't square onto the camera. Also, the mannequin could be slightly rotated, or the camera slightly rotated, etc. So it has a different perspective than it being straight onto the camera. But it's fine as we're using this for reference now. I'm going to hit Z and bring it up, and maybe to extrude it one more time and bring it up to there. I'm just going to left click and drag these vertices here. Bring them up like that. Sweet. Then let's hit 3 to go inside of you. I'm going to hit Control or add a loop cut right there. Left click, right click. Let's go ahead and kind of shape this out right here. You could, of course, go to Google Images once again and get a reference image for the side of how the sides look. However, also where you could do is have a real one in front of you as well. So I'm just going to hit G. Why? Usually they have a little bit of a chest here and like that. And I'm going to bring this one out a little bit like that. And again, we're just roughly blocking it out right now. We're going to change it and then give it better shape later on. Now, one thing I want to do, if I got a solid view, you can see that this is way too blocky. So we're going to do something called edge sliding. Sounds like a terrible 70s dance move. Edge slide. If we all left click an edge loop or vertex loop and hit twice, it will then edge slide it between the two edge loops. So if we edge slide it, it will kind of round it out like that. We could do the same thing for the backs, like this ghettoized edge slide that they're... All right, sweet. Now let's go ahead and add in the neck bone. We're going to go into wireframe for the neck bone. I'm just going to have to go into edit mode Shift A. We're going to add in a cube now with this cube. Let's turn off clipping quickly. Bring it out, scale it way down. And then right here, I'm going to select the center face right there and hit X and delete the faces, then turn back on clipping, select a face control, Alt to select the link, and let's bring them together like that. Boom. It's like a sonic explosion. And now we're going as to scale and bring it down. All right. Now let's go ahead and kind of shape the neck. I'm going to bring it to about here. And then let's go in the vertex select mode, grab these vertices, bring them up, and let's grab these vertices, bring them down there. And again, it's kind of like being back in school on just, following the outline of the image. Let's like those vertices right here. So all these E to extrude and bring those two about there like that. Now again, like I said, you can see on the image that his neck and head is turned. So it's turned up. It's not going to be a lining right there. But again, we could use the image as a good reference. Now let's go on the side view, and I'm going to hit Control to add in a loop. Let me go into solid mode so you could see too, and let me hide the image, select the image, and H to hide. Let's say Control are at a loop cut right there, left click, right click. And then I'm just going to select this edge loop G twice, all left, click this edge loop G twice, and kind of round it out, and then maybe select this edge loop GX and bring it out to round it off even more. And check that out. Sweet. And I'm going to like this middle vertex turn on proportional editing with the OK. And then G also, you can see that right now with proportional editing, it's affecting both the neck and the body. I want it to only affect the neck. How can we do this? Yes, there is an option for that. There's an option for everything we could select connected only, and now it will only affect the connected vertices. And since the neck is separate from the body, it will not affect the body. So I said GZ. And I'm just going to kind of bring this up a little bit, and then left click these vertices G twice to bring them down, all left click these G twice to bring them down, and this vertex G twice to bring it down. And let's bring this one up a little bit just to give it a little bit more of a rounded shape. All right, let's hit one to go in front of you to unhide that, and then let's select one vertex from here, Control L to select the linked. It's going to wireframe, and we're just going to hit Shift to copy it, and we're going to use this for making the head. Now I'm just going to hit the S key to scale that up and bring it to about here. Now with this, what I want to do is I'm just going to hit C to bring up the brush tool. And just align this kind of to the head like that. Let's select the middle vertices there, Jesus. What Jesus, and bring it all the way up, increasing the proportional fall off, and again, his head is tilted. So this is not going to be, it's not going to be exact because we're making his head straight right now and not tilted. Then what I'm going to do is hit Control. And then add in 3 loop cuts here. So Control. But before I do that, let's fix this a little bit and go in solid mode. Hide the image. I'm going to grab this vertex G twice to edge slide that. Make it straighter. Edge slide that. And these as well, just to make it a little bit better. And then what I want to do, I just like that one as well. And this one as well. And then what I want to do is just select this middle vertex right here and hit GZ and bring it up and kind of flatten the head like that, which will be a lot better. All right, there we go. So we got something looking like that. Now let's go ahead and hit one to go in front of you. I'm going to hit Control or adding 3 loop cuts by scrolling my mouse wheel up, and 3 that I'm going to hit left click to select this edge loop, and G and X, and let's bring it out and give it a little bit more shape on this side. Let's do the same for here as well. Give it a little bit more shape, and I'm going to bring this down because this head is really pointed now. All right, cool. So now we got more vertices to play with. Let's hit an object mode, Alt-H to unhide the image, go in front of you and go to wireframe. And now we're just going to position these vertices by selecting them. Go ahead and grab them and bring them down. And again, his head is tilted, so you have to take that into consideration. Just get the overall shape of the head right there. I'm going to hit CC to bring up the brush tail and select those vertices, bring them out. And now the head we don't want is so pointed, obviously. So I'm going to put it to something like that, and then maybe hit Control L. SZ and scale everything up and make it a little bit elongated, and in GX bring it out on the X-axis to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, sweet. Let's go into solid view, hide the reference image, and we're going to slight the face. And once again, let's go ahead and fix this, because if we go a side view, you could see his head is completely flat. So selecting this vertex, I'm going to hit G and bring it out. And then let's like this one as well, G, Y, and bring it out. And that one G, Y, and bring it out as well, I guess. Like this vertex G, twice-edged slide a little bit. And let's do the same for the back. It's like this one G. Why bring it out? It's like this one guy. Why bring it out? And of course, your tweaking might not be the exact same as mine, because ours might look different the way we moved our vertices now, just like this one twice, and bring it up a little bit. All right. Lastly, one can do is all left. Click this edge loop right here and head twice to edge. Slide that kind of round that off. And then same thing with this one here at left. Click these vertices right here, these ones, and hit G twice and round that off towards the front. And the same thing with these G twice, round that off towards the back. And so now check it out. We have a nice little head there. Now what I want to do is hide the net quickly. I'm going to select one of the vertices or faces of the net, Control H to hide. Let's hide the body, to Control to hide. What I want to do down here is actually make it a little bit different, because I want to be able to add in some loop cuts around the base of the neck right here. So let's like these faces right here on the bottom X and delete the faces that I'm going to go into vertex select mode at left click. These vertices, A to extrude right click, and then S turn off proportional editing EWS to scale, and now we can hit GX and bring them over like that, and then GZ and bring them down a little bit. And what this allows for us to do is now we could add edge loops around here like that, which is nice. All right. Now we just had to connect and fill up the hole to do that. We're just going to go ahead and select all of 3 of these vertices, E, X, and extrude them that way and connect them. Then Shift, select these 4 vertices F to fill the face, and Shift, select these 4 vertices F to fill that face, and boom, there we go. And now, what this allows for us to do is just hit Controller at a loop. Cut their left, click, right click, and then all left. Click this whole edge loop right there, G twice to edge slide that, and it gives us a nicer little fall off right there. All right, sweet. So there we go. We got a really blocky head. Let's hit to unhide everything and let's see what we got so far. Sweet. And again, we are just blocking it out. Your métier might look slightly different, depending on how well you know. Your vertex might be up here a little bit. Let's go ahead. And lastly, just adjust a little bit. These, it's always nice to keep a nice geometry and nice mesh. That way it stays nice and clean. Why do I keep saying 100 of the same words in the same sentence? Nobody knows. So I'm just going to select all these right here. Go ahead and do the same on yours. Kind of make it so that you can hit twice to each slide. Just make it so that it's not like, this vertex is all the way, while not that one because it's stuck. But this one's not all the way over there or whatnot, and make it so that's somewhat straight. For example, you don't want this vertex here, which is going in the nice line, to be down here. Down. You want everything to be pretty aligned, like so. All right, that's good enough for now. Again, we'll tweak it as we go along, but I will see you in the next video, obviously. Let's hit 1, hit all to see what we got here. And you could see, boom, this is what we have so far. I kind of want to lastly just select these vertices here on the side of the head with proportional editing on Hedgie and bring them out a little bit because his head is a little squashed, and maybe just overall control select everything, as Z and elongates has had a little bit because their heads are pretty long. Cool. Let's save this file. Save as character. Character, I'm going to overwrite that previous one, and I'll see you in the next video chat. For now, over.